You are listening to As a Woman, episode 60, Girls of Today. In this episode, I'm with my daughter, Campbell. Campbell, say hi.
Hi.
And we are talking about what it means to be a girl, growing up in a world, and trying to see other girls do what you dream.
Welcome to As a Woman, the podcast hosted by fertility physician Dr. Natalie Crawford to educate and empower women. Each week, learn about your health, your fertility, and how they relate to your true self. Become a part of the community fostering collaboration over competition while learning how to authentically find your voice and amplify others as a woman.
Hi, friends. Welcome back to As a Woman. So this is episode 60. And I'm talking all about what it's like to grow up as a girl. Now, I know the vast majority of you who are listening to this are also girls or women, and you've grown up in the same world that I have. But I think it's really important to reflect on some of this because what I have found, at least until I started this podcast, is that I've tended to internalize a lot of the things that I've experienced and incorporated them into myself instead of standing up against them or understanding that girls are treated differently than boys. Having both a little girl and a little boy as a mom and watching how they interact with the world and how the world interacts with them, it is really eye-opening and it brings me back to my own childhood. And I've been thinking a lot about what I've experienced on this way to becoming a female leader, a doctor, a woman who's independent and strong and been called a lot of names along the way. I also think it's really timely because this episode will be released on International Women's Day. And friends, just for a minute, I want you to think about the fact that there is no International Men's Day, right? There's an International Women's Day for a reason. And I'm happy to celebrate that with an episode all about being a girl in today's world. What does it mean? And how do we help change the tide for the little girls of today? Because truly, that is something that I feel extremely passionate about. I'll always say that they can't be you if they can't see you. And I mean that because I think that when you are a little girl in the world, you grow up with an idea that certain things are just off limits because you don't see them. There's a subconscious message that there are some things that girls do and some things that boys do. And there's very loud conscious messages where people actually tell you that's not something that a girl does. And those are the narratives that we have to change. One thing I was told when I was done with fellowship, made it through all this training, and actually working as a fertility doctor, was that women make up discrimination in order to get more attention and to try to stand out because they are inferior. Literally was told that discrimination was made up and something that women just like to talk about. Of course, that was not said by a woman, that was said by a man who has never experienced being questioned, asked if he was really the one in charge, asked to have the superior come in the room, asked if he was the doctor, asked if he was too pretty to do his job, asked if he was old enough to do his job, asked any question while his chest was being stared at, told that he didn't look appropriate for the job, told he looked too sexy, told he looked too plain, told he had on too much makeup, told he needs to wear makeup. Seriously, all the things that you can be told as a woman in any professional field, it is profound and it is enough. To the women of the world, my message is that you are going to be judged no matter what. I wish I could sit on here and say, you won't be judged, the world is changing. That is not true. You are going to be judged. And if you put yourself on a public display, like I do, if you put yourself out there, even for really good intentions, with your words and your video and your pictures, even with a mission to educate and empower people, you will be judged. And it's okay. Their opinions don't matter that much. You have to be able to stand behind what you're doing. And that's the real message. When we let the judgment change us, when we let it make us smaller or quieter, when we start to feel grateful for the opportunity that we don't want to mess up and we don't speak our true minds and true hearts, that is where the judgment wins. So if we want to change the world and we want to change it for our daughters, we must first start with ourselves. So the number one first thing that must change is that we have to say, the world will judge us, so judge me for me. Judge me for me. I'm going to be me. And if you are going to call me names or say that I can't do it or say that I'm not good enough or not smart enough or whatever enough you want, or that it makes me a bad mom, or that it makes me a bad doctor because I'm a mom, or that I'm not invested enough because I care about my family, I don't care what you say. That's lesson number one. I do not care what you say. Now, I wish it was super simple to just brush it off. I wish we could all be T-Swift, shake it off, really, because their opinions don't matter. Become that person who is truly, truly, authentically you. Say what is on your heart and mind, and if the repercussions fall, let them fall. What I think is that most of the time, that wasn't the right situation for you anyway. It wasn't the right job or the right opportunity. And if somebody is really going to hold it against you that you stood up for what was right, or you did your job like a badass woman while wearing heels and lipsticks, just prove them wrong, you guys. Who cares about their judgment? Or even better, let their judgment be your fire. Let it light your spark. Prove them wrong. Stop conforming to what the world wants you to be. The best example to the little girls of the world is to see a diverse group of women owning the things that make them unique and excelling at the things that light their soul on fire. That is what the girls of today need to first of all see. The second thing we have to do as a group of women is we have to stop being the ones creating any of the judgment, being mean to each other, putting each other down, gossiping in the office, making fun of each other on TikTok, tweeting pictures and calling people names, calling out, this whole call out culture, right? Why are women doing it to other women? This is where we become mean girls. This is where we hurt the tribe. And I have so many podcasts or Instagram posts on this because it really blows my mind as I've gotten older to see this behavior. I'm a woman. I believe in women's rights. I want women to be equal pay, equal leave, equal opportunity to hold powerful positions. Yet I'm going to talk about the other woman because of her shoes or her hair or her maternity leave or whatever. I am over that, and you should be too. It doesn't mean that maybe you haven't done this behavior in the past. I will call myself a mean girl in recovery because I think we can learn from our behavior as we grow. But if we truly want the girls in the world of today, we must show them that we can do it ourselves and that we believe in them, that they can put out there who they are and we're not going to judge them for it. If the men of the world are going to judge us, so be it. Let's at least support each other and say, good for you for living out your dreams. Good for you for being true to yourself. Good for you for being your real authentic self and chasing your dreams. Whatever your dreams are, we can all have different goals. We can, and we can all achieve our dreams, and we will do it better together. Number 3 is we have to stop ignoring discrimination. I can't even tell you how many times I've been discriminated against and I said nothing. Nothing. As small as being interrupted in a meeting or on rounds, somebody would just interrupt me. And in order to not cause conflict, because I shouldn't cause conflict because I want to please people, and causing conflict by calling out their interruption would not please anybody, I will just stay here quiet and silent while this person, usually a man, interrupts me. That is discrimination. When you are not called on to speak your mind, when you're not giving opportunities for promotion, when you're held back because of your childbearing status, when you are fired because you are pregnant, when you are harassed for your looks, when your bosses make inappropriate advances at you, when a man talks to you and touches your back when you're in the workplace, these things are all inappropriate. So if you work with one of these people, you need to put an end to it. You need to call them out, go to a superior, quit the job, say something, file a lawsuit, do something. And I know that I'm sitting here in my closet, and that is a lot easier for me to say than it is for you to do. But the truth is, there are small acts of discrimination that we get every day, or small acts of harassment that we just permit. And that is silent permission. So things as simple as when you're asked an inappropriate question, repeat it back. Just repeat back their inappropriate question and give the person the opportunity to see how ridiculous it is. I also think a very hard situation is that to call out discrimination opens you up to a weird form of being called you are whining. Like I quoted earlier in this episode, how I was told that women make it up for attention. You're just whining or making excuses for your perhaps failure to achieve something because you're being discriminated against. But if you don't acknowledge it, then it's the elephant in the room and you're giving silent permission to other people. And I think we can really help each other out more here. When I ask women stories about what it's like to be a woman in medicine or in the workplace, I always hear very similar things. Is that very often they're discriminated against by other women. And this behavior is not just judgment, but discrimination. There is a voice sometimes inside powerful women's heads that say, I struggled and fought against discrimination to get to this place, and so you should have to do it too. The problem here is that there's room for a lot of people at the table. And when women hold other women to a higher standard than they do to men, they are hurting the tribe. They are hurting the other women who could excel in that role. They are hurting the little girls of tomorrow who don't get to see women in powerful positions and who don't believe that they have that opportunity. So if you are a powerful woman of today, if you are somebody who is a professional woman or in any type of leadership role, I am sure you had to fight and struggle to get there. I am sure of it. And good for you. I'm so proud of you. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, I want to see women in every powerful role. You are inspiring the younger generation, and I want you to do it even more by helping other women sit next to you at the table. I want you to stop holding your own battles as your armor or your trophy, and I want you to start reaching down and helping other women up. I think this also goes to another point that I really frequently say, which is they can't be you if they can't see you. The opposite of the woman who got to power, who is holding it against other women that they're not working as hard as she did or they had children earlier than she did, is the woman who gets in power and is silent about it because she's doing a lot of things. She's probably busy managing her family life and all her work responsibilities. And so nobody sees her doing the things. The things she does are silent. They can't be you if they can't see you. So own your success. Own it. You're not narcissistic or boastful or prideful or whatever those other words are. If a man won a big award, you know what he would say? Hey, I won a big award. Let's celebrate. Why do women just not mention anything and carry on with life and set the next goal higher? Celebrate your success. Put yourself out there. I'm actually recording this podcast right now with my daughter, with Campbell, sitting right next to me. Now, she said she's going to be very quiet, so we'll see if she can. But I think it's important for her to see mommy doing her job and for her to see the time that I put into other things, because that will show her that if she has big dreams in the future, she can live up to them. She can dream to be a scientist or an astronaut or the president or a doctor or a lawyer or a politician. Whatever she wants, she can do it. But she will not believe that if she doesn't see other women try, if she doesn't watch other women on their journey, if she doesn't see other women flourishing. But in order to be seen, you must make yourself visible. And being visible is making yourself vulnerable. So I know that it's hard. Again, that is opening yourself up to judgment, but they can't be you if they can't see you. Celebrate your success. Show the world what you're doing. Put yourself out there. Talk to younger communities and younger girls. Let your friends' kids know what you're doing. Host events. Be on committees. Spend your time showing the world what you can do. And we must be the example of how the narrative needs to change when we talk to young girls. I was ashamed for being smart. I wanted to be pretty. But being smart was not something that was desirable. I would hide my test scores. I wouldn't raise my hand. We need to encourage girls to try, to answer, to do their best, and encourage their brilliance to exceed and achieve whatever they want. So I'm going to let Campbell speak for a minute. Campbell, do you want to say hi?
Hi.
Campbell, what do you think about your mom being a doctor?
It seems kind of cool.
What do I do during the day?
She helps other moms get babies in their tummy.
That's perfect. Good job. My point is that you have to be visible. You have to let other people see you, and that includes your own children. No longer do you have to be a mom who separates her professional and her personal life. I think that was what we felt like for so long, is that when you were at work, you had to be this person at work. And when you come home, you have to leave that work person behind and just be your home person. And I'm in complete disagreement with that. I actually think, and I've said this all the time, you are just one person, one singular person with a lot of diverse interests and talents, potentially a job and a family at home. And you need to step into and to own those things. Incorporate them all into that one person and be that person at all times in all the things and all the situations. Be proud of who you are. Be a person that can shake off the judgment because you have owned it. You own yourself. Be that person who chases her dreams and shows the younger generation that she can. Be that person who does not judge other women. Do not be the mean girl who gets to the top and holds others to a higher standard. Help bring women to the table. Help change the rules. Change the policies at your own company. Help encourage younger women that their journey can be better than yours. Call out discrimination when you see it. Don't let your silence be acceptance, because that's what it's been for a very long time. And be seen. Celebrate your success and show the little girls of the world that women are achieving really big things and they can achieve even better things. Give pinky promises out, give big hugs, smile and wave, and do it in Converse tennies or high heels. I don't care, but do it in the form of yourself that you can be true to. Be you. Be somebody who knows what she stands for and stand for it. Be somebody who brings others along the way. Spend your time in this life chasing your own dreams and inspiring others to chase theirs. That is my call for how we change the world for the girls of today. And there's one question that Campbell has been waiting really patiently for me to ask her so that she can answer for you now that she thinks is a really important answer. And Campbell, tell me what it means to be a girl to you.
It means a lot.
Love you. So you heard it. It means a lot. That means there's a lot of pressure on us, the women of today, to show little girls that this meaning a lot is worth it, that they can do it, that they can live in a world where their dreams can really be accomplished. Campbell and I are going to say goodbye. Ready? Ready to say goodbye? Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Because we appreciate you being here and listening to us. As always, thank you for supporting the podcast. Every share or listen, like, rating, review, those mean so much to me. And for those of you who have transitioned over to the YouTube channel, oh my gosh, I love you. Do you love them, Campbell?
Yes.
We love you so much because I'm learning, I'm editing and doing everything there myself. And I don't tell that so you can be proud of me, but be proud of me. But more so that you can know, hey, you can do it. If you want to do big things, celebrate it. So I'm celebrating YouTube right now. Yay, YouTube. Say it.
Yeah, you do.
So we're going to be happy in those moments because I've worked hard for that and wanted to do that for a long time. And so for those of you who've gone over there, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you haven't yet, please go give it a listen or subscribe. We would so appreciate it as we continue to work as hard as we can to support the girls of today to become anything they want tomorrow. Thank you so much. Goodbye, friends.
Goodbye.